The conversation in the boxing world has been getting louder and louder about one of the most intriguing matchups in recent memory, Terence "Bud" Crawford stepping up to challenge Canelo Álvarez. And this isn't just a fantasy fight or a casual rumor anymore. The energy around it is coming from fighters, trainers, commentators, and boxing legends who are weighing in on exactly what could happen, why it could happen, and what each man brings to the table. Roy Jones Jr., a man who knows what it means to move through weight divisions successfully, didn't hold back when talking about this fight. In his view, Canelo Álvarez today is not the same Canelo Álvarez of a few years ago. Roy made it clear in his eyes, Canelo doesn't seem to have that same level of sharpness, that same constant energy that once made him almost unbeatable. Jones questioned why Canelo looks diminished at this stage of his career and expressed disappointment that a fighter who has given fans so many big nights might be slipping. On the other side of that equation, Jones had nothing but praise for Crawford. He sees a hungry fighter, one who has been waiting for this kind of opportunity for a long time. Jones pointed out that Crawford took the weight gain seriously, not just adding mass, but doing the diet right, training right, and making sure that the move up would be functional, not just cosmetic. He stressed that when a fighter knows how to box at the elite level Crawford does, the weight difference isn't going to play the deciding role. The key question for Jones was simpler: can Crawford take Canelo's punch? If he can, then the fight becomes dangerous for Canelo very quickly. Jones warned about something else: the danger of overconfidence. If Canelo comes in thinking he can just outbox Crawford because of his size and resume, Jones believes he could be in for a harsh reality check. This fight, Jones says, will depend entirely on which version of Canelo shows up. If Canelo comes in like the man on a mission, determined to prove he's still the best, then he might win. But if he comes in flat, expecting things to go his way automatically, he could get beaten. Olympic boxer Omari Jones has also shared his thoughts, and for him, the big story is how Crawford has approached this move in weight. Omari was impressed with the way Crawford has handled the process. He pointed out that a lot of fighters, when they move up, simply bulk up recklessly, adding size that slows them down. Crawford, however, has done it methodically, keeping his speed and agility intact through careful diet and conditioning. Omari sees this as a win-win for Crawford. He's getting the size to compete at a higher class without losing what makes him special. He's met Crawford personally and knows how competitive the man is. He described Crawford's mindset as relentless, unwilling to be bullied, and determined to win regardless of the challenge. He compared this situation to when Jermall Charlo moved up to face Canelo, but stressed that it's different here because Crawford's preparation has been meticulous. Omari believes the way Crawford has put on size the right way will make him more than capable of handling the challenge. When asked whether that added size could be a disadvantage, Omari shook it off. He said it looked like Crawford had added the weight the right way, not just for looks. Even if the physical challenge is real, Crawford's discipline and training give him the tools to adapt. Omari pointed out that this fight isn't just about being heavier, it's about carrying that weight efficiently. And with Crawford's approach, he believes it can be done. Paulie Malignaggi, former world champion and now an analyst, also noticed Crawford's new size. But unlike some, he sees it as a major advantage rather than a problem. Malignaggi praised Crawford for managing to add muscle without losing the timing, footwork, and sharpness that have been his trademarks. He noted that many fighters who move up in weight slow down, it's natural. But he also pointed out examples of fighters who made it work, like Roy Jones Jr. and Manny Pacquiao, both of whom added weight without losing their effectiveness. The secret, Paulie said, is in how you train with that weight during camp. If you start to feel heavy and sluggish, you can make adjustments before fight night. From what Paulie sees, Crawford has struck the perfect balance, adding the durability to deal with a bigger opponent like Canelo while keeping the agility that makes him dangerous. In fact, Malignaggi believes the extra power Crawford could bring might actually help him when dealing with Canelo's pressure. Max Kellerman, known for his sharp technical breakdowns, brought a different perspective. For him, one of Crawford's greatest weapons is his jab, fast, precise, and capable of controlling the rhythm of a fight. Kellerman noted that Canelo's jab, which was once a strong weapon, isn't what it used to be. This, Kellerman argues, gives Crawford a real edge in range control. But Kellerman didn't stop there. He highlighted Crawford's tactical intelligence, the way he makes adjustments on the fly, reading his opponent, and exploiting openings they don't even realize they're leaving. In a skill-for-skill comparison, Kellerman believes that the recent version of Canelo, who has relied more on size, strength, and pressure, is at a disadvantage against Crawford's versatility. Canelo's main weapons now are his physical strength, his chin, and his power. But if Crawford can keep him at a distance and turn it into a thinking match, Kellerman feels the tactical battle favors Crawford heavily. Showbiz the Adult, a popular commentator, gave a more balanced take. He acknowledged Canelo's incredible strength, pointing to moments in past fights where Canelo physically manhandled opponents. That kind of raw power, Showbiz said, can't be ignored. He respects Canelo's ability to take punishment, apply pressure, and counterpunch with precision. At the same time, Showbiz pointed out Crawford's wrestling background, which gives him a unique sense of leverage and positioning in the ring. This could help him handle Canelo's physicality better than most fighters moving up in weight. Showbiz believes this fight will come down to intelligence as much as strength, and he sees both men having paths to victory. Edgar Berlanga, the hard-hitting super middleweight contender, offered advice for Crawford: stay true to himself. Berlanga warned against trying to change too much to match Canelo physically. In his view, Crawford's skill set and fight IQ are what will win him the fight, not trying to be as big or as strong as Canelo. He acknowledged the size difference is real and will be felt, but also emphasized that this is exactly the kind of challenge that defines a champion's legacy. Berlanga sees it as a 50-50 fight, with Canelo's size and experience at the weight offset by Crawford's intelligence and adaptability. If Crawford loses, Berlanga says, it won't diminish him. Just stepping up 2 weight classes to face a fighter of Canelo's caliber is an act of greatness in itself. Teddy Atlas, the legendary trainer and commentator, kept his assessment short but powerful. In his eyes, Crawford is special. Greatness, Atlas says, isn't just about talent. It's about showing up when the moment demands it, and Crawford has done that his entire career. He sees in Crawford the mental strength, the desire, and the adaptability that separate great fighters from merely good ones. Canelo is a great fighter, Atlas acknowledged, but he wonders if he might be just a touch overrated in terms of where he stands today. For Atlas, Crawford has the intangibles, the things you can't measure, to rise to this occasion. Across all these voices, a clear theme emerges. This fight isn't just another big night in boxing. For Crawford, it's a defining moment, a chance to silence any lingering doubts and elevate his legacy to new heights. For Canelo, it's a chance to show that he's still the man, still capable of turning back a challenge from one of the sport's most skilled and determined fighters. The outcome will depend not only on skill and preparation, but also on mindset, on who can stay disciplined, stick to their strategy, and adapt when the fight takes unexpected turns. The consensus is that Crawford must control distance, use angles, and avoid falling into reckless exchanges where Canelo's power can be most dangerous. He needs to work his way into the fight, building momentum, and saving his most aggressive moments for when the timing is perfect. Canelo, on the other hand, needs to bring the version of himself that cuts off the ring effectively, applies steady pressure, and forces Crawford into the kind of exchanges where size and power can take over. This fight, as so many experts have said, is about more than just 2 men in a ring. It's about legacy, pride, and proving something not just to the fans, but to themselves. Whether it's Roy Jones Jr.'s warning about overconfidence, Omari Jones' admiration for Crawford's preparation, Malignaggi's praise for the way he's added size, Kellerman's technical analysis of the jab in tactical battle, Showbiz's recognition of Canelo's strength, Berlanga's advice to stay true to himself, or Teddy Atlas's belief in Crawford's greatness, every voice adds to the sense that this is a special moment in boxing. And when that first bell rings, we'll finally see whose vision of the fight comes true,